Quentin Tarantino was interviewed by the most British person I've ever seen in the world, and he got pretty upset with the line of questions surrounding whether the violence in his movies translates to violence in real life. And here's a little bit of that.
But why are you so sure that there's no link between enjoying movie violence and enjoying real violence?
I'm gonna tell you why I'm so sure. Don't ask me a question like that. I'm not biting. I refuse your question.
Why?
Because I refuse your question. I'm not your slave and you're not my master. You can't make me dance to your tune.
The enormous-headed lady doth protest too much, methinks. He's got a big head. Anyway, so Tarantino, he's upset. What do you think? 5 words or less.
Answer the damn question.
He ain't my master.
Quentin, you tripping.
No, it doesn't translate directly.
So you answer the question for us.
I answer the question.
Thank you.
I stand up and answer the question. So what? First of all, he's overreacting. He's going kind of crazy.
Oh my
What's
God.
going on there?
Okay, I agree. Overreaction, total overreaction. However, I could find within like a 20-minute span, I could find maybe 15 or 20 full-length interviews where they exhaust this ad nauseum. Is there a causal link between violence and film? And every time something happens in the media where our attention is back on violence, is it the films? That's what we're doing?
What does he say in these long...
He does not believe there's a causal link between the two of them.
But did he ever answer the question why?
Well, in one interview he mentioned science a little bit, because he's actually a very well-read guy in my opinion. Like,
This is my thing with that. I understand that he's like frustrated that people keep asking him the same questions, but it's kind of one of those things, like when you're famous and you sign up to go to the interview, put that in the thing that you do not want them to ask you, and even if they do ask you, get over it. It's like people are gonna ask Beyonce about Baby Blue every time. Yeah. So she can't have a baby and then not want people to ask her about it and be like, I've already said 20 times in other interviews how I feel about Baby Blue. Like,
I mean, I am a huge horror movie junkie, and I watch the slasher horror films, and yet I have zero desire to lay my hand on somebody else, like even give somebody a paper cut. I have no desire. So in my mind, obviously there are psycho people out there that will watch something and want to copy it, I guess, but the majority of people do not want
in this movie,
to do that.
it's the bad people get shot in the face. There's bad people who do terrible things, and we don't like that. And guess what they get? They get shot by someone who's doing the right thing. It's not like you go to the theater and they give you a ticket and then a popcorn and then a rifle.
I think for like the issues with like the shootings or something that happens, you know, outside, and then the production companies decide to move up their date of their opening movie. Like the Gangster Squad, they moved that like a month later, which I think is really respectful. But it's still going to be released. Yeah. There's no correlation.
We'll just wait till you guys get over the
like, if you're gonna like cartoons have way more violent scenes than.
And I would draw the parallel in Django Unchained to kind of a cartoon.
It is, because
how much blood is flying.
Bullets don't even shoot straight. You shoot them and they fly that way. It's like, come on, it's obviously exaggerated.
But before that, like the Grimm fairy tales, in Cinderella, the stepsisters don't fit in the shoes, so they cut their feet off. Kids could handle it back in those days. You know, and now it's like, oh, don't shoot the bad guy.
There was a rash of foot cuttings after that came out, so they had to rewrite it.
We gotta stop these children from cutting people's feet off.
I know.
I don't know. So, on the whole, are we mad? Are we on Tarantino's side, or?
They're just trying to make some news. I mean, I guess I can't hate the guy for doing his job. Like, he's a reporter, he's got to ask the questions, whatever.
Yeah, and Tarantino is like, I don't want to make news for your show, and that's all anyone's talking about.
Exactly.
All right, so what do you guys think about Tarantino? Does violence in film lead to violence on the streets? Don't go shoot somebody, just leave a damn comment. And then subscribe to this show and watch next time on Pop Trigger.